What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I just got back to college, so yeah.
Are you in a classroom right now?
I'm in my dorm building is a basement.
Mm.
Um it's like the only kind of quiet place there is, at least for now. We'll see if someone walks in, but yeah.
Where are you in school?
I'm at the Ohio State.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Oh yeah, it's nice.
What are you studying?
I'm doing finance and marketing. Probably gonna switch over to marketing though and just go all in for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What year are you?
I'm a first year.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That's great, dude. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, thanks.
So tell me about what you're looking to accomplish with an agency or what's going on with that.
Yeah, so right now, so I'm in roofing. I found you from YouTube when I was looking at Facebook ads for roofing.
Hmm.
Um, so like after like binged your channel, I used like the stuff that you taught on one of my roofing clients, and it was in December. So I mean, I thought the results would be slower, which they were. I was getting like a lead every other day, I'd say, and I'd say half of them were like real people, half of them were like robots or like maybe competitors filling it out.
Hmm.
Um,
With a $50 per day spend.
yeah, yeah, 50 a day. So what it was, it's like I ran it for I think 2.5 weeks, and they got two like real legit booked appointments from those full 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, and after I ran them, after actually like they were drying up near the end of like the third week, and then that's when we just decided to pause it because New Year's and stuff.
Mhm.
And then when we unpaused it for those like 2, 3 days, it was getting zero leads.
Mhm.
So they just wanted to pause it. I like told them that maybe we should just keep letting it run, but they just wanted to pause it. They weren't comfortable with like doing it 50 a day.
Mhm.
So they just paused and said, and I said, okay, I'll look more into it, do some research, and then I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. I want to know if you can maybe like look at my campaign, look at my ads, see if there's something going on, or maybe if it's just like the location in the wintertime. Like I didn't know
Where
how
are
to
they?
like diagnose it. They're in Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the population size is good, but I don't know if it's just because of the wintertime or stuff. So
Probably that. Yeah.
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 Has it been happening to you?
Oh
Like
yeah.
have your leads been slowing down?
All the time. Yeah. Now it's better if you start them and you have good months and then it slows up in the winter, then they're much more inclined to be like,
Right.
okay, yeah, I notice a difference. It's got to be the season. It's nothing else changed.
Hmm.
We know that you're great at what you do. We've gotten great results up to this point. Now it's a little slower. We understand that. Let's pause it and then we'll start it back up, or let's, let it go. They've built up so much of a pipeline that they're comfortable getting leads at a much slower pace, even though they're paying that money. Um, so that's one of the drawbacks of starting someone in the winter or in December is that you it's tough for you to make the case that you're as good as you are if they
Right.
don't have that proof.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't mention that really in the should you get started with a client in the winter kind of video that I put out, but that is
Hmm.
actually kind of a big deal. Like, yes, you can get someone results, albeit less results and less amazing results, a little bit, sometimes at a lot slower pace. But in many cases with these roofers, if they aren't 120% convinced that you're the guy, if you don't knock it out of the park, at least within the first month, and give them a glimpse at like, wow, this is amazing, it's going to be harder for you to make the case that they ought to continue working with you after that. So
Right.
really depends on what you're able to do in terms of convincing them. But yeah, show me that campaign and
Okay.
I'll take a look at it. Did you get a sense from them if they are um, aware that it's a time of year thing and that they're excited to get it rolling in like the spring?
Yeah. So like the reason I was a little concerned and iffy if it was the time of year is because there was like a massive storm in Nashville. Like
Hmm.
when like the day I ran the campaign, the day I started, it was a massive storm, tornado. whole bunch of houses got, torn down, roofs were, so I ran it and like I thought that like I would get plenty of leads coming in, like one or two a day, because like there was a massive storm.
Hmm.
But even then, like out of that whole 2.5 weeks of them running it, they only got two real appointments from
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So like I told them like maybe it is a time of year, but they were saying no, it's I mean the storm was there, so it can't really be the time of year, right? So that's where I was a little, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is another weird thing that I notice when storms happen is sometimes the leads slow up during storms
Oh,
because everyone is already calling roofers. Like they're actively going to they're asking their friends for a roofer's name and number. They're going on Google and just looking for roofers like they're
that's what I
shopping
was
for them
thinking.
intentionally. What
Right.
Facebook ads are good for is getting people to act on something a little bit before they would have done it volitionally, right? So they're scrolling through Facebook. They kind of in the back of their mind, they know that they need to get in touch with a roofer in order to have someone look at their roof. Their wife's been nagging them about it, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually so they're scrolling and then they see this ad that speaks to them so well that they say, you know what, let me just bang this out right now. Let me just click
Right.
this, fill it out. The roofer will contact me
Oh,
and blah, blah, blah. When a storm happens, then people are like, okay, I need a roofer right now. I don't have time to get lucky coming across one on Facebook in an ad,
right.
right? Like I'm not going to go to Facebook to look to scroll until I see a roofing ad. I'm going to go to Google and get a roofer right now. So there's that,
Oh,
right? So that's the issue. And number two is when there's a storm, you've got everyone and their mother with a roofing company walking around town and putting flyers on, doorsteps and knocking on doors,
yeah.
door hangers and cold calling and you name it, right? So it's
Mhm.
like the last thing someone wants to see on Facebook at that point is a fucking roofing ad. Like they've
Oh, yeah.
seen roofers nonstop. So,
Oh,
right? So when there's a storm, I'm not saying not to run roofing ads. You can, in fact, get a lot of leads running roofing ads. They may have to be angled a little bit differently. Like,
like
um,
insurance or
yeah, like for instance, well, I wouldn't angle it for insurance, but I would say, like, what is it that people are in need of in that moment, right? What they're in need of in that moment, if they've gotten their roof blown off or a hole in their roof or a tree hit it and it's busted up, is they need tarping, right? They need a tarp. They need a roofing company to come out who specializes in quickly tarping a roof, meaning protecting it from the elements. So they're just putting a tarp up over the hole in the roof so that any other rain that comes down isn't leaking into the house and causing
yeah.
further damage. Now, what can a roofing company offer that is extremely valuable? And that is we can tarp your roof faster than anyone. We can get there today or something like that. Like everyone else is booked out because it's so busy. We can get there right now. Click right now, get your roof tarped, prevent the damage, and then the person that tarps their roof, unless they're the worst salespeople ever, are going to be the ones that repair it or replace it and do the insurance claim and all that kind of stuff. So the foot in the door
Oh.
in a storm like that could be tarping or like emergency something to mitigate the damage in the home. Um,
Oh, okay.
right. So your angle for the ads may have to you might have to build like that angle out if you're in a place that gets these kinds of storms so that you can just get them rolling as soon as you need them or if you can just move quickly and you let your client know, listen, if you know a storm is coming a day or two ahead of time, I need you to just shoot me a text because I'll get these special storm ads up the second the storm touches down. I'll press the button and they'll start rolling and we can get people tarp. You can ask them if they do tarping and what sort of things they do in that regard.
Oh, okay.
So that's a really helpful thing that you can do in a storm area. I don't know what else I was going to say about that, but does that make sense?
Yeah. Like what? So like would Facebook ads like in your case? have they not really worked when storms happened in your area? Like, have the leads slowed down for you, or did you like end up changing your ads like when that happened to
Right.
like mitigate to fix it?
So what I tell clients is that if they're in a storm area, I will happily run them ads, but they won't be storm ads necessarily. If a storm, like th there's a little bit of nuance, or there are context-based answers to this. So like if I have a client and we're running ads, he's in a storm area, but there wasn't just recently a storm. It's just he's looking for people to who might have storm damage from a previous storm that don't really know
Yeah.
it. Maybe it happened a month, two ago, or a year ago even. And what his goal is, he likes doing storm damage restoration the most. He likes helping them file claims. He likes the margins with that and everything. But I teach him and I educate him that the best way to get up on someone's roof to do an inspection is to run an ad with a retail angle, like I teach with the Hope framework and whatever.
Right.
And then once they're at the house, they can teach them that, all right, I'm going to go up on your roof because listen, if you have enough damage to justify filing a claim, I'm going to recommend that because then you'll be able to get a brand new roof for just the cost of your deductible. And then since they're with them in person, the homeowner who then is going to have an objection about filing a claim and insurance and all this stuff because they're scared of it. They have all these preconceived misconceptions. At least the roofer will be there with them in person to say, listen, um, I understand, a lot of people have the concerns you're having, but um, uh, you know, filing a claim is not a scam. It's not going to raise your premium. Um, and if your deductible is $4,000 and it would cost you $3,500 to repair your roof, for $500 more, you can get a brand new roof paid for by the
Right.
insurance company, and all you have to do is pay the $4,000 deductible, something like that, right? So they can make that sale much more easier. But then so those are the clients that are just they're in areas that get storms, but there wasn't just a storm this moment, and so therefore everyone's scrambling around for storm damage leads, right? So, but then there are clients that are in those storm areas, and then a storm comes or it's coming, and they'll text me and they'll say, "Hey, a storm's coming in these zip codes or something. Can you run storm damage ads in those areas?" And I say to them, "I could, but you're not going to get any leads." Like you're not gonna, it's not like you're going to get this influx of storm leads in that area, um, unless it's an area outside of the area they're already advertising in. So, like, let's say their radius is 30 miles around, you know, Dallas Fort Worth or something, and then 40 miles out there's a 5 mile radius town or a 2 mile radius town that got hit with tornado or something or a storm of some sort, and they say throw some ads over there. Like maybe you'll get leads from that area because you're not currently advertising there, and that new area will now generate some leads because you're putting ads there. But oftentimes, like I said, it's not as amazing as you think it's going to be because everyone else is scrambling for leads there. People are going to Google. Facebook's just not really the emergency platform that Google is. Google's where everyone goes for an emergency.
Right.
Facebook is TV, right? You don't turn on, Cartoon Network and then hope you see an ad for your basement flooding. You call
Right.
a waterproofing company, right?
Right.
Um, so so another thing you can um, recommend to these companies. So how do I say this? So when you're already advertising in an area and a storm happens in that area, Facebook is going to get a sense of, are more people in the area that was hit by the storm starting to engage with the ads? And if so, they're going to concentrate the ad distribution to that part of the radius that's getting the engagement, right? But if someone's, power was knocked out and they're having an emergency, they're calling they're not on Facebook engaging with any
Right.
ads. It
That's
actually might
true.
be that Facebook starts concentrating your ads everywhere but the storm area because the people in the storm area aren't actually on Facebook and Instagram scrolling for fun. They're sitting in their
Right.
living room, water is pouring into the thing. They're not looking at, they're not reading, they're not like
Not like
watching funny memes and shit. Like
yeah.
they're calling their friends like, hey, are you in the dark? Do you have a roofer that you have your brother come by? He has a roofing company, right? Like they're just freaking out.
Oh,
So that's kind of the weird paradox of storms is that it seems like you should be able to get such great results on Facebook, but in
but it's
fact, Facebook is not the place to get results for storms that are happening right now or just happened a day ago.
oh, okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Here's a here. Let me wait. Is my screen showing for you?
it is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me go to
But
my.
I can't take your mouse because I think you have me through your browser
Oh,
instead of the app, but it's fine.
oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, you can show
So
me your stuff.
okay. So this was like the kind of ads I was running before. So like the first one was that insurance one I was talking about.
Mhm.
Um, which from what you told me, like are homeowners like more likely to um submit their information if like for retail, like instead of insurance because of all the like objections that they would have?
I think they are. I mean, this ad is interesting. It's like it comes off like to the homeowner who doesn't really know how this stuff works. This
Mm.
presents more like a Nashville service than a roofing company. Like to me, this looks like
Oh,
a service that Nashville is providing to people that experience storm damage. So it's a little bit misleading, but it's
oh,
misleading in a way that I think a lot of people might actually respond favorably to this. They might think, oh,
oh,
Nashville's putting out something to help, a roofing assistance program for people hit by the storm, honey. Let's click this and, fill it out. They're 78 years old and they think this is a great thing.
oh,
Um, so I don't know. I haven't seen an ad exactly like this. So I think that this could potentially work. I mean, it's not something I personally would run because for a few reasons. I mean, I wouldn't recommend 100% I mean, so essentially here, click see more on your ad so I can read all of it and then
oh,
zoom
here
in.
it's right.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
attention, Nashville homeowners with roof damage may qualify for up to 100% deductible assistance on qualifying roofs. So this is really just a financing. That's financing. Like you homeowners with roof damage, meaning someone with roof damage or even anyone may qualify for up to 100% deductible assistance on qualifying roofs. Now, deductible assistance in this sentence, I don't know if you wrote this yourself or if it was just you found it from someone else and decided to use it, but
Found it. Yeah, yeah. That's fine.
what this means is you that the the homeowner reading this may get approved to finance their roof because I don't
Oh,
think there are actually any programs that are paying people's deductibles. In fact, that's illegal. It's illegal for the roofer to offer to pay someone's deductible. At least it is
right.
in most states, I think.
Hmm.
Um, so essentially, so it's mentioning plus it's mentioning the deductible in the first sentence, which to me is assuming too much knowledge, assuming the homeowner has too much knowledge. Like I don't think this meets homeowners where they are in their minds at all. Um, and then it says we work with your insurance company to get a new roof without raising your rates. So it deals with that objection, but in dealing with it before they have it, it's almost like reminding them of this
Oh,
possibility. So I wouldn't write that either.
okay.
All you have to pay for is your deductible. So then again, back to the deductible thing. We've helped over 2,000 homeowners through this exact process. Sit back and rest assured knowing we'll get you a complete new roof for just the price of your deductible. We started Nashville Roof 11 years ago because we wanted to help many people um, get new amazing roofs for their homes. And with the storm on December 9th, you may qualify for a full roof replacement through your insurance. That being said, if you want to see if your roof qualifies, get a free. So that being said, doesn't make sense there.
Oh,
In full disclosure, it will direct you to our page where we ask you a couple of questions, see if we can help. Hope to see you there. And then what page does it go to? Is it like a funnel like I designed?
yeah, yeah. I used your dollar off thing, but then I modified the form. it should be one of these two.
Okay, got it.
Um,
Yeah, so this is confusing. I mean, it's like the ad is really it's like all about deductible assistance. Um, and then it mentions getting approved to have your insurance company or see qualified to see if your insurance company pays for the whole thing, and don't worry, it's not going to raise your deductible or your premiums or blah blah blah, and it's like two all over the place. So
mhm.
um you know if you want to run a storm ad, like I said, I think the foot in the door, like it's the roofing salesperson, it's the roofing expert that calls them and goes to the house that really needs to sell them on how they're going to get a new roof and how they're going to pay for what they're getting. But there are lots of things before that that the homeowner needs to know. And that is that someone who is trustworthy and qualified is going to help them and tell them the truth. That's way before deductibles and insurance qualification and all this stuff. So think
Oh,
about the homeowner. What is the homeowner experiencing who just had a storm blow off half their roof or a bunch of shingles or a tree fall into their roof or something like that? They're thinking, I need to protect my home from the outside elements. I need to make sure no additional damage happens in my home. So it would be a godsend right now if out of nowhere a roofer said to me, "Hey, I can come over and make sure your home is protected from the elements, and I can tell you if you need a repair, if this can be if your roof can be repaired, or if you're going to need a full replacement. And if it only
wow.
needs a repair, I will tell you that." Now, here's the catch. Not catch, but here's an important thing. A lot of your clients are not going to offer repairs. They're not going to do repairs. Okay. They're going to tell you, I do replacements or nothing. I don't do repairs. I don't do $1,500 repairs. I don't do
Right.
$800 repairs. I don't do $3,000 repairs. I replace. I think we file claims, or we do some retail here and there, or we don't do anything. We don't do repairs. That's okay. Your ad is not saying that the roofer will do the repair. The ad is saying that the roofer will tell the homeowner if they only need a repair or if they need a full
Or
replacement. If they need
oh,
a
okay.
full if they only need a repair and that's all they need, the roofer will tell them and they'll recommend that, someone that they can call to do a repair or something like that. Right? So the ad's goal is not to
Not to
sell
sell.
the roof. Yeah. So what I was saying was your job as the marketer is not to help the roofer sell the roof necessarily. It's not to sell a roof. It's to get the roofer on the phone with the homeowner and to the house, right? So your
Um,
ads in the context of a storm, your ads are to ensure the homeowner that they're going to get help fast and that they're going to get the truth. Okay. And so we can get to your house really fast to help protect your home from the elements. And number two, when we get there, we're going to do what no other roofer does. And that is we're going to get up on your roof and we're going to tell you if you need a full roof replacement or if you only need a repair, because there's no point
oh,
in
okay.
replacing your roof if all you need is a repair. And then when the roofer gets there, the roofer introduces himself to the homeowner and says, "I'm so sorry this happened to you. This tree branch tore off a bunch of shingles, it looks like. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to tarp it. We're going to tarp your roof to protect it. And while we're up there, or while I'm up there inspecting things, I'm going to be looking really closely at all of the shingles, even the ones that look fine from down below. Because if there is, if other branches hit your roof and didn't rip the shingle off, but dented them and damaged them, and hail that came from the storm ended up dinging up your gutters and downspouts and other shingles and the ridge vent and all this stuff. If your pipe jacks or one of them's bent or something from something flying by, I'm going to look at all of that. And if that's the case, I may recommend that you file a claim with your insurance company. And you may have heard a lot of things about that from others that it's not good to do or that it raises your premiums. That's not true at all. The reason you pay for your homeowner's insurance is exactly for situations just like these. And
Right.
the homeowner's insurance company wants to give you a new roof because if they don't, and the inside of your house gets $100,000 worth of damage, guess who's responsible for that? The
Oh,
homeowner's insurance company. They want to
right.
prevent damage, right? So I'm going to get up there and
Oh,
look at your roof for you. And if you need and if it's damaged and it's not protecting the integrity of your home, the inside of your home especially, then I'm going to recommend we get an entirely new roof paid for by your insurance company, and I'll take you through that entire process. You won't have to stress about what to do. I'm going to actually hold your hand through the whole thing. It'll be really, really simple. But here's the thing, Mr. Homeowner. If I get up on your roof and I inspect it and I notice that you only have two shingles that are like a little iffy, and we can, and they can, and that area can be repaired, and the repair for that is going to be significantly less than what your deductible is, and you don't have enough damage to justify filing a whole claim for a whole new roof, then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to tell you that so that you don't have to go through a whole roof replacement and through all the paperwork for the insurance restoration stuff and all that. And instead, what I'll do is I'll recommend that you just get a repair. And since we don't do minor repairs, I'll just refer you out to a company that does, or I'll give you their phone number and you can call them and just get a simple repair. But I'm not going to leave here
oh,
today with your roof, uh, you know, that not protecting your home. So at the very least, I'm going to tarp it up, but then I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do to protect the inside of your home and whether you need to get a full roof replacement or if it just a tiny little repair will help. Does that sound good? And they'll say,
oh,
that sounds fucking amazing. Like, that's insanely great. Do that. Get up on my roof, do your thing. I'm so happy I found you on Facebook, right? Like
oh, okay.
that's that's how it works. So knowing all that, you can create amazing advertising that gets the roofer to the house.
So I shouldn't have yeah, so like the ad I was running, I was trying to sell them on the insurance, but that's like the roofer job.
Yeah,
Or not selling, but just
so
trying like a method to pay.
yeah, like think about, I mean, coming up with good analogies on the spot is tough. But I'm gonna try, right? So let's say you were let's say you were um, let's say you were a dietitian, okay? And your job was to help people who want to lose weight. And there is a procedure where you operate and you actually make their stomach smaller. Okay, like a lap band or surgically making the stomach smaller. That's a real procedure.
Hmm.
And now obviously you could advertise for that procedure. There may be people that know that they want that procedure. They've tried everything else to lose weight and nothing has worked. But as a dietitian who is, but leading with invasive surgery where you have to go under general anesthesia and go to sleep, and like it's risky and it's an operation, like open that being your opener. And don't worry, we can help you with the healing process. We'll make it so it's not horrible. Like, wait, might be horrible. Like this ad is scaring the shit out of me.
Oh,
Um, because instead of just leading with the procedure, which is the insurance restoration, lead with the result, which is a home that's protected and the truth, which is the weight you want to be and no stress, right? Like getting there,
right.
right?
Oh,
So
okay.
so talk more about the results and not the method. And so when you talk about insurance filing a claim and deductibles and shit, you're talking about the method too much and not the results. So the result is they need a roof that they know is protecting their home and they want a roofer that they can trust. That's the result, right? So talk
Right.
about that.
Okay. Okay. Here, and can I show you that other ad I was running?
Yeah.
That one was kind of like your method of doing it. I'm sorry. I don't use the Zoom app, so I don't know which Chrome to share. Hold on one sec. Let me just.
If you pull up the page you want to show me, then you can it'll be more obvious which one to click. Or you could just share your whole computer desktop.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There isn't like a.
Are you on an Apple computer?
Yeah, I'm on a Mac, but
Is it bringing
if
up
I just
system
do.
settings?
Yeah,
Okay.
here, I'll go to that real quick.
Yeah, so you need to put the checkbox next to Zoom, and then it's probably going to tell you that it might tell you that you need to like log
Wait,
back
and
in.
wait. Yeah, here, I'll do that real quick.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my Chrome screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Like this. Okay, so the other ad was it kind of like the stuff you were talking about? Um, so this is kind of like the here it is,
Yep.
like that longer form. Yeah. So this was what I was running.
Hmm.
Um, but like again, I didn't really know much about roofing, so I like did it like I like took another angle. Like I did it like $3,000 for a new roof, and like the ad was actually just like talking about you can get a new roof for your deductible.
Hmm.
Um, and that did end up getting a couple leads,
Hmm.
but I ran like this newer one for that for those 3 days,
Hmm.
and it didn't get a single lead.
Hmm.
So that's why I was like really confused.
Yeah.
Um,
Was this ad running in conjunction with the insurance one?
no, it was just this ad alone.
Uh-huh.
I created the insurance one to show you like this is also the other ad
Mm.
that I was thinking of running. So yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, so scroll down, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Actually, let me just take control of your screen. Probably need to open system preferences again. Okay, got it.
Uh, is it working for you or
Let me check. No, let me try it again.
I clicked approve, but
Does it say system preferences again?
no, it's saying waiting for Michael Mignona to control your screen.
Okay.
Or it says you are right now, but
Yeah, but I'm not, it's not letting me do anything. All right.
um
So just scroll down again some more.
yeah.
Um, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the ads that I wrote. That's the long sales copy, one of the versions of the long sales copy that I've written. I mean, it could be a number of things. I mean, listen, only running it for 3 days after, was it right after New Year's?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the time of year sucks still. Um, it's tough. After New Year's, people, it was this right after a storm.
The storm happened on December 9th, and I ran this one on like January 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like almost a month after.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And what was the CPMs for this? Can you click off of this and
I think they were kind of good. Or it was for so I like multiple campaigns running.
you did for this one client?
Yeah, because like I made some changes and stuff. So like here the CPMs, they were like typically around 20 or like between
Can you
20 and
open
30.
up that campaign so that I
Uh
could see what the CPM was for that particular?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so no, yeah, just click the actual.
This
Yeah,
oh like right here.
sure.
Okay.
So it's the service area one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
okay, so $19. And then what was the cost per click?
Oh, I don't think here. Let me add that.
Just go to performance and clicks where it
Oh,
says, yeah,
oh, wait, is it not? Here it
CPM,
is.
cost per click. Okay. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's fine.
So is it just like the landing page then? That's the problem.
What was the landing page?
So I sent it to something like this, but the
Mm-hmm.
headline was like was this full placement starting at that.
Mm-hmm.
Um I like that repair thing where it's like we won't recommend a complete replacement if all you need is a repair. I
Mm-hmm.
had that stuff, some
Mm-hmm.
reviews. I didn't really know like why they weren't converting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like I thought like I followed your steps like pretty much exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was confused. Like is it just because it's the time of year or
Yeah. So was your home impacted by recent storms? Yes, no, not sure. I don't use that question personally.
oh,
And then answer these questions one of six. What best drives your home? Um, yeah. So when are you wanting this project completed? How are you hoping to pay for a new roof? Uh, okay. Zip code, full address.
and then the personal phone.
Yeah. Yeah. That all looks pretty good. Yeah. I mean, listen, no leads for 3 days is not enough time to know if something's working or not, especially not in January. Um,
They were saying that they weren't comfortable doing 50. Actually, at the time it was 40 a day for this one.
mhm, mhm,
Um, so like I was watching like this other like YouTube video of like this guy running Facebook ads and he was doing like 25 a day.
mhm.
Like do you think that it would be better to like lower to 25 then if I like can't expect like a lead a day or like
I mean, listen, if leads are going to be coming in at $80 a lead because of the time of year, then lowering it to $20 a day means you're going to get a lead every 4 days, and upping it to
oh
$80 a day means you're going to get a lead every one day,
oh that's
right? Because the amount
right.
of money you spend per day is very much the cause of how many people see your ad per day. So now, there are other things that go into that equation. If you create an ad that Facebook considers to be a crappy ad that no one wants to see, it's going to charge you more money to distribute it to the same amount of people. But like all things being the same, if you have two of the same ads at the same exact service area and you're spending 25 a day on one of them and 50 a day on the other, the $50 a day one is going to reach twice as many people per day. And so if that gives you two times more of a chance of someone clicking it and filling it out because double the amount of people are seeing it. So
So like at what point is it like is it worth because like I remember like I was talking to the roofer and like he like didn't want expensive leads but like from what I've like seen about roofing it's like does a lead cost really matter that much because like a full replacement would like more than cover everything right so
well,
like
yeah, I mean it
why does it
would,
matter if it's like
right. So
yeah
yeah, I mean when you do a full roof replacement, you're going to profit at least $3,000. If it's insurance restoration, it's probably more like four, five, $6,000 on
oh
average, in profit.
oh okay
But roofers, like any business, but especially roofers and other contractors, they really deal with some serious cash flow issues, especially if they're doing storm damage restoration. Because with storm damage restoration, they don't get paid for a month or two down the road when the insurance check
right
finally comes in. Whereas with
oh
retail, they're getting paid like next day, right? So they have to
oh
float a lot of money. They have to pay their workers for the marketing way before they finally get that insurance money. So
oh
they need to have a lot of money in the bank to to pay for all the work that they're doing that's ultimately going to result in the money that they're going to get paid. So if
Oh,
they're spending $1,500 a month on ads and they're not getting leads at a fast enough pace and scheduling appointments and close and getting contingency agreements for the insurance restoration jobs fast enough to make them feel comfortable that they're going to get paid eventually, then they're feeling like I'm just burning my money and I'm not making any money. And a lot of times, and what I was really getting at was a lot of times these roofers don't have more than a few $1,000s in the bank to pay for things. So like if the first month isn't a home run, they've spent their $3,000 that they had allocated for their advertising and they don't have any anymore.
oh,
So they're running real short on money. Um, they need fast money. They need money. They need results really fast. So it puts us in a tough position. It makes it so that we have to do a good job within the first month, and if we don't, we need to talk them off a ledge and be like, listen, this is how advertising can sometimes go.
right.
We were able to get you on 6 appointments the first month. I wanted to get you on at least 15, but we got you on six. The way I like to look at it is that's proof that we can get you to people's houses. And the time of year is just, it makes it really tough because, it's a time of year thing. Like come, end of March, April, mid-April, you're going to get 10 times the amount of appointments. And then you can say to them, and you're more than welcome to wait until then to run these
Resume.
ads full force. And that would be a perfectly fine decision. What I would recommend in that case is doing our rolling start program where we charge you instead of 1,500 a month for our services, we charge you 500 and we lower your ad spend down to, $20 a day and you'll still get leads, but you'll get less leads. But you'll have a head start amongst, ahead
All
of
the
all
other
your
contract.
competitors. Your area
Yeah.
will be warmed up to your messaging, and so you can hit the ground running when it's finally time to fire up the ads. And you will close some deals in the meantime too. You'll close deals that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So that's kind of how to keep them to keep them with your company, and you are truly giving them good advice in that moment too. You're not like bullshitting them. That's the truth.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
so that might be how you approach that.
okay.
This is a tough time of year, though. I mean, and like I said, when you get new clients at this time of year, you do run the risk of, not giving them the most amazing first impression of you from a results standpoint. But what you can do if you are personable and you can speak articulately and you can talk to them and you're genuine with them is you can, instead of putting your best foot forward with the results, you can put your best foot forward with the person that you are. And ultimately, I think that's what people care about more than anything else is, did I find the person I want to work with? Not did I find the person to get me the results I want, but did I find the person I want to work with? And then if they truly believe
Oh,
that the results are mainly what they are because of the time of year and it's not because of you, in fact, you're getting them the best results they could possibly be getting for this time of year, and they also like you as a person, then they're 100% going to stick with you, and you're gonna have a bunch of clients that want to pay you full price, right when the season kicks in a high gear.
oh, okay. Okay, okay. I had so from that, I like just like 4 or 5 questions I just listed off.
Yeah.
Like, can I just like fire those at you real quick.
Yeah, man.
So like the first one was like looking at my ads and stuff wintertime. Like what do I do after a month of the ads running? Like, do I have to change the creatives and the copy?
Nope.
Like will people get bored of the oh okay.
You
Okay.
don't. If
You
you're
just
getting
like
great
keep them.
results, um, if you're getting the results you want, you don't need to change it after a month at all. You could, if you wanted to do something to,
Like spice it up or like because like like say you run it for a month and like the leads start slowing down,
Yeah.
like is that because of like you haven't made any changes to the creative or the copy, or is that just because like that's just how it is?
It could be either one or both.
Uh,
And so absolutely
uh,
you could change the images. You could add a video. You could just change the creative. I wouldn't, if the messaging is working well, I would change that last. Like it's probably like if the messaging and the hook and the offer is working, it's probably just you need fresh creative, you need fresh images or something to convince Facebook that they ought to continue distributing your ads for a good price and all of that. But it's rarely the messaging. Like if it's a good offer, it's a good offer.
oh, okay. Okay, okay.
In terms of what kinds of images should you use for Facebook ads, that this is really where you should come up with some of your own flair. I mean, the reality of it is the images. First of all, you're never going to be able to guess what images work best. You're just going to need to kind of
Uh,
throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. So use a lot of different kinds of images. Use pictures of the actual roofing contractor. Use pictures of him and his family. Use pictures of roofs, pictures of houses. Use close-ups of a shingle. Use, I've used, for a storm ad once, I used a video of a dog with, the wind blowing its hair back. Like you can
oh,
do all different kinds of things.
are
And
there images that I should avoid using, like that
no,
you've tested? Oh,
no,
okay.
write things on the images, and for some of them, don't write things on the images. Some of the times adding the headline that you end up using, like starting at blah 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 or whatever, could be good on the image, and other times it might not be as good on the image. You might have an
Uh,
arrow pointing to a roof on an image, or a smiley face on an image, or something like that. And you really can't, you won't be able to guess what works best in a particular area. You just use a bunch of variations. Now, I noticed that you only have one, you have the one ad set and then one ad under it. You should have
yeah.
4 or 5 ads under that ad set. And then
Basically,
face,
yeah, I had that, but so like in my head, like so before I only had like two images under one ad set. So then like the day before I ran the new campaign after the New Year's, I
Mhm.
put five. And for those 2, 3 days, I got zero results. So I thought it was like, oh, like if you just put a whole bunch of ads in one ad set, it'll like ruin it or it'll like mess it up. Like I saw that in a video I was watching about Facebook ads.
Mhm.
So I just paused it. I was like, okay, I need to find a new way of doing this. But from what you told me, like that might not be the case. Maybe it's just because of like the time of year. So
Yeah, I mean,
um,
if you're only advertising with, $20 a day, maybe just do 2 or 3 ad variations. But if you're $50 a day, you could do like 3 to 5. Um, and you want to have different image variations, because you don't know which of those 3 or 4 or 5 are going to actually work best. And so Facebook will take it upon itself to cycle through them, and ultimately
choose basically.
it'll choose better than you'll be able to guess. So
So it's like the images like shouldn't be the same. So like one should be like the contractor, one should be like a house, one should be like shingles, like different
yep,
images.
yep,
Okay.
but with the same primary text and the same headline and everything else.
Okay.
So it's like a
Also,
controlled
oh
experiment.
yeah. Okay. And then I like another question. So I saw like in the whole SMMA space, like everyone's using high level now.
Hmm.
And for their clients, like once they do get like that like a lead's phone number, they like nurture the lead through like SMS, texts, and like emails.
Hmm.
Is that necessary for roofing, or it like once the lead comes through, it's the contractor's problem? Like they have to call them up, they have to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, you can offer lead nurturing where you're entering leads into a drip where they get emails and text messages to remind them to schedule an appointment with the contractor. But then you need to make sure that your clients are actually going to use the CRM and move them down the sales pipeline in order to remove them from the automation that's bothering the shit out of them, or you're going to end up
Oh, that's
pissing off
true.
their potential customers much more than you're going to end up helping. So
Oh,
um,
that's true.
So, it's really dependent. It's dependent upon the engagement you can get the contractor to have with the CRM itself. If they're excited to use the CRM and truly use it properly, and you can train them on it, and say to them and build the automation so that when they move them, when they drag them from lead to prospect meaning they were able to successfully contact them and schedule an appointment. And therefore that removes them from the automation that's bothering the shit out of them to schedule an appointment, then that's great. But if they're not going to do that, then all the leads are going to end up getting a bunch of text messages and emails that are, even after they've called and talked to them, they're going to end up marking the emails as spam. They're going to end up, unsubscribing, or worse, marking the texts as spam, and that's going to affect
Oh,
the phone number, and whether it comes in as spam or telemarketer or something like that. So you run the risk of really fucking all that up. Um, you know,
oh,
that's really depends on the client. But what I would recommend doing is I would recommend getting really good at using the CRM, getting really good at using Go High Level, and learning how to build these things, because when you do, you'll be able to offer that service to your clients, and it's really cool.
okay. Also, so after like someone fills out the form, do you send them to an appointment booking page or do you do like a thank you page?
So for the longest time, I was only doing thank you pages, but now I am beginning to send them to a booking page. Um, but there are certain things there are some challenges with the booking pages too. I mean, you have to connect it to the client's calendar, and
Oh, that's true.
again, you have to get them using the CRM. I mean, if they're not using the CRM, or if their calendars are an absolute disaster and it's tough to sync it with their Google account or whatever, you run the risk of everything just being an absolute wreck. Because what if someone schedules at a time that they're not actually available because it's not synced with their calendar? Um, if they change the
Oh,
appointment, but they don't change it in the CRM, then the people are getting reminders for an appointment that's been changed and therefore for a different time. So again, you have to get the people using the calendar. Now, um, I have a whole snapshot built for, you know, calendar bookings and things like that, and a whole intake form for understanding when the company is available and how to do all that stuff. And I'll be training, you guys on how to do all of that. So stay tuned for that.
awesome. Okay.
But the most important thing is, can you get them leads that they can call and schedule? Because the vast majority of them are going to want to do that. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, and so like from what you've seen, like, is there anything blatantly wrong like with the landing page, or is that fine? Like, I should just change the copy and keep running the ads?
Yeah, I thought the landing page was fine. I mean,
Okay.
when in doubt, I would just keep the landing page to the survey and just not put anything under it. No pictures, no reviews, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Don't even make it so they can scroll down the landing page. Either fill out the survey or not.
Okay.
So you might want to just make that little adjustment. Look at it on your phone. Make sure the landing page on your phone has the survey above the fold. Like, you don't want the survey to be like that
They
you
have
have
to
to
scroll
scroll
down
down
to
to it. So like,
right.
just make sure there's not wasted space up in the top with the logo and the headline. That should get The headline should get smaller, or small enough that it's not taking up this much space with 4 lines of 32-point font. Um, Make sure all that looks good, and I wouldn't ask if the home has been affected by recent storms. That's a question that they can ask on the phone. And who
Oh,
can and whether it is or it isn't, that's not going to affect whether they call the client, right? So it's like, who
oh, that's
cares,
true.
right? So you just need to know. You just need to ask them the questions that I recommend asking, and then the roofer, when he calls, he'll say, "Hey, so and so, this is so and so from blah blah roofing company. I just saw that you sent in one of our forms. I'd love to see if we can help you with your roof. What's going on?" And they say, well, a storm hit my house, and they're like, okay, well, that question's answered, right?
Oh, right.
Or they say, well, yeah, I've met my husband's been, talking to me about calling a roofer because our roof is really old and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just, I'm wondering if, I just wanted to kind of talk to you about that. And then the roofer says, okay, well, did you by chance, were you affected by the storm that happened on December 9th by chance? I don't know. It was windy outside, but I don't know that we were really affected by the storm. Okay, well, wind can actually damage shingles. I'd love to get a look at your roof to make sure that it's protecting your home. Are you available this Thursday? Yeah, I am. Blah blah. Great. I'll see you then. Boom,
Oh,
done. Sell the roof, right? Um, so so again, this is something I mentioned in other videos, but it's worth repeating, and that is, as a marketer, it's easy to um, it's our job to differentiate between the questions that are best asked at the ad level and the questions that are best asked at the sales level, right? So, like, do we ask these intake questions, or are these intake questions actually better once the person's on the phone with the roofer? And so, like, an example of a question better on the phone with the roofer is, was your home damaged by the recent storms? And frankly, I don't even know if that's a good question for the phone call, because the homeowner doesn't know if the home has been damaged by
right.
recent storms. And in
That's
fact, one of the things that roofers often teach homeowners is, even if you don't think your roof was damaged by a recent storm, it probably was. And so what you ought to do is have us up on your roof looking at it, even if you think your roof is perfectly fine. So asking the question, was it damaged, leaves too much responsibility in the homeowner's hands to get that question right. And so I would just delete that question altogether.
okay. Okay. And also, like another question I had was, like in roofing, like it's kind of like some contractors are sketchy and stuff, and they do uh like unethical things. Like for example, like the thing you're talking about, where it's like some might recommend like a full replacement when all they need is like a repair, or some use like cheap materials, stuff like that. Are there any other like things like that that I should know, and or that I could like address in like future copy or something like that?
Um,
Was
yeah,
it mainly just those two?
I've tried to point out the sketchy things roofers do um, in ad copy, and it never played as well as simply pointing out the things roofers do that make their thing that make their roofs more expensive. So,
Oh,
like, I wouldn't necessarily say, some roofers will pay your deductible for you, and that's illegal, you know, because some people read that and go, "Ooh, this guy's, so I could find a roofer that'll pay my deductible. That's great."
oh,
You know, and like, I mean, I've even mentioned that, like, what doing that makes you an accomplice to insurance fraud, and that doesn't, and people don't read that and go, "Ooh, I don't want to do that." Like, I don't think it's as scary to homeowners as I think it should be. I think what is best to remember, and I think your question was fantastic, because you're on the right. Asking that question means you're thinking about the right things from a marketer standpoint. Like, it is important to, like, what are the things that people are concerned about? What are the things that roofers are doing that I can make the case that my client's not doing? Like, that's a really good, like, algorithm to be using to come up with amazing sales copy. And I've done it all. And what I can tell you is that the two things that homeowners care about more than anything else is, they want to get a fair price and they want a roofer that they can trust. That's it. And so, how do you, in creative ways that they believe, make the case that that's the roofer that you're advertising for?
okay, okay, okay.
And then all the scary things that other roofers do. That, again, that's something that the roofer should talk to them about if it comes up. Like, when a homeowner says, well, are you gonna pay for my deductible too? The roofer should say, fuck no, I don't do that shit. And here's why. And I don't do that because, and now they're at the house and they can look at them in the eye and say, I don't do that. And the reason I don't do that is because I have a family and I have a business and I care about not just my own life and remaining out of jail, but I also care about my community and you're part of my community. And I will not allow someone to be an accomplice in insurance fraud and I don't commit felonies. So I'm not going to do that. What we do offer, however, is financing. Now, your deductible is $5,000. That's not a small amount of money. A new roof would cost $22,000, though. Okay, so 5,000 is way less than 22. We can definitely get the insurance company to pay for a whole new roof. You'll still have to pay for $5,000, but you can finance that, and I'll help you get that. I'll help you get approved to finance that. You could probably
Oh,
finance that for like 29 bucks a month or 49 bucks a month, you know, and that's really manageable. And then we avoid jail, which is great. I don't want to go to jail. And you'll get a brand new roof from a company that doesn't commit felonies. How does that sound? You know what? That sounds great. And
oh,
that's the shtick, right? And but you don't put that in the ad because it's too much for an ad. People
right.
aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about that at the sale, when they've got the roofer at the
That
house.
actual
And they're
house.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So, like, from what you've seen, like, if you were in my position, like, what would be like the action steps that you would take? Like, just like from the campaign that I showed you, like, you would probably delete this ad, right? The insurance one.
Yeah. So if I were you, what I would do is I would actually keep. So it depends. I would actually want to run both. Okay.
Oh.
So I would run both the insurance ad that you have there, but I would
Mhm.
create one more variation with a different image. And
Mhm.
I would create one more variation of the retail version with a different
Mhm.
image. And I would run both ad sets with a total of 40 to 50 bucks a day. And I would see which one got the best results.
Okay.
And I would run it for at least a week. And after a week, if you got two leads for the insurance and one with the retail, I wouldn't necessarily consider that the insurance worked better, or vice versa. If you got two from the retail and one for the insurance, something like that, or four and three, or something like that, I would take note of who the leads were from each ad that came in and which ones scheduled appointments and actually closed, and I would want to get better information like that. Um, and then after a week or two of that, I would think to myself, okay, do I think that the differences in messaging are sort of working against one another and it's too confusing? Because if neither got me any results that I'm happy with, then I would consider running just the retail one by itself with a couple more ad variations added to it, um, with different images
Oh,
and and go from there. And then I would also, in the back of my mind, know that it's January and shit sucks right now.
right. So wait, so like just on average, like from what you've seen from this campaign, like could you like predict like how many leads I would get like if I ran this at like both like just this one for example at 50 a day? Like since it's January, do you think that I probably wouldn't get a lead a day, right? It would be like every other day or every 3 days.
I would say every other day or every 3 days. That could leads could come in at 150 bucks a lead.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Okay. Okay.
But I also think that sometimes it takes a few days for Facebook to start finding the people that want to fill out these surveys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because like I remember seeing one of your videos and you said like in the first like 48 hours, like if you haven't gotten a lead, like you know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say for a normal time of year, that's generally true. However, recently in the past 6 to 12 months ish, 6 months, I've noticed that sometimes that campaigns are taking a few more days than I'm used to really get off the ground.
oh, okay, okay.
So In terms of managing your clients' expectations, you can say, oftentimes leads come in within the first 24 to 48 hours. It's totally normal if it takes 3 to 5 days to really get up and running, to start seeing leads flow in. After that, if they don't, then I will consider that something that needs to be immediately addressed. But what I don't like to do is I don't like to kill things prematurely, because I have a bunch of clients all over the country that are getting amazing results with exactly what I'm setting up for you. So before I just assume that it's not working for you for some weird reason, we have to let things play out. How's that sound? And they say it sounds great.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So like just like real quick, the last question. Like from the last campaign I ran, like they got like two legit booked appointments from it from like 50 a day for 2 to 3 weeks. Like, do you think that's acceptable for like that December period? Or should I have like in general, like do you usually get more than that?
Were they able to close any of those appointments?
I'm not sure. Like they told me like from the 8 leads I got them, like two of them were like good, real leads.
Mhm.
I didn't ask them about like if they did
And
the
they actually
job or
went on
not.
appointments?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's perfectly acceptable for this time of year. Absolutely.
Okay.
And what you can say to them is, you know, I think we need to increase your ad spend so you get more appointments. Because if you close two deals, you're going to be making way more money than you're spending. And it's like, it's just a matter of, like if you want more appointments, you got to spend more money.
Right.
Because frankly, I mean, if it costs them, even if it costs them $1,000 to get a new client that they're making $5,000 in profit on, that's
That right.
a
That's
5x return.
right. That's
So
true.
they need to be willing to spend the money to make the money. But like I said, these guys are often running on very low cash flow, and sometimes they're choosing to advertise because they go on word of mouth, and all of a sudden for the past 2 months the word of mouth has been really slow and they're really low on money, and they need advertising to make money that they're not making otherwise. And by virtue of not having made the money, they've got not very much money to use for advertising.
That
This is their last fucking shot to get money.
right.
And it's like they're dying over there, so they're freaking out. Um, and really that just kind of sucks. I mean, it's questionable about whether or not you should even take on those clients, but it's also hard to gauge if that's the case. It's one of the downsides of telling people you'll go month to month with them is that, they know they aren't making a commitment for more than a few $1,000s. Whereas if you get someone to say, all right, I'm going to, I will work with you for at least 3 months, and you can get them to pay up front, at least that they have the money to do that and they're in it and more invested.
Oh, that's true.
But from the marketer's standpoint, it's like, okay, if you get it down to a science where you can onboard and set people up with very little work on your end, then you're better off just going month to month with the clients, signing up as many people as you possibly can. If you can sign up 20 people in the course of 2 months, 3 months, and half of them stay on, and you lose 50% of them
That's
hate you,
true.
50% of them love you. You're making a shitload of money, right? And you're
That's
helping a lot of
right.
people. You're helping 10 people. The 10 people that didn't love working with you, frankly, 9 of them would have done great if they just would have stuck with you for a couple more months, but they don't have the money to do it and they're blaming on you and whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you've gotten 10 clients that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise had you been more like, strict about who you bring on. So just bring everybody on, help them as best you can. If 50% of them don't stick with you, it's not the end of the world. I bet half of those come back and say, you know what? I actually like what you did for me. We weren't getting leads as fast as I wanted, but I tried other people and they really sucked. And I like
Oh,
you as a person and I trust you and let's do it again. And that happens to me all the time.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Wait, and like do you learn that stuff from that like family friend sales framework that you had a course on? Like on how to be that trustworthy person?
yeah, so in that course, I talk to you about and teach you kind of how I talk to people on the phone to sell them on what I do, and to talk about what I do and my method for that. and this my script for that and everything. I also have some sales calls you can listen to of me actually doing sales
Oh,
calls. Um, I show you my whole funnel for I show you my ads, my landing page for my ads, where what happens after you sign up and blah blah blah. So it's all in there.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I think that's all I got then. Yeah. Let me just check one more. Okay. Go back to oh,
Cool,
there it
man.
is.
Well,
There it is. Awesome.
yeah. So, well, listen, keep me updated. Let me know how you're doing in like as things progress.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Definitely do your best for that client that you're talking to me about that we talked about on this call, but give at least as much energy to getting new clients. Get 10 more right now, like ASAP. And because like I said, you don't have full control over whether this works. You don't. I don't either, right?
Oh,
So what I do is I know what I know what has the chance of working really well. And some of it is out of my control. The time of year, the weather in a particular area, how many competitors we're up against in a particular area at a particular time. And so I know that it's not, if I fail to get them results, it's not all my failure. There are other things that go into the equation that I don't have any control over. What I do have control over is what I do have some control over is how many new people I can get to try my system. And so if I get a bunch of people to try it, then I know a decent percentage of them are going to stick with me. And that's a lot of new clients that I'm able to help. Um, and so that's how I would approach this. I wouldn't beat yourself up over one client and go crazy over one client and try to figure out like, man, I can't do it for this client, so no other clients are going to get good results. That's just not the case. Go get
that's
a
kind of
bunch
where
of
I'm at.
clients. Know that what you're doing
Oh,
is good, um, and eventually you'll have a bunch of clients. But you're also going to lose a bunch of clients in the process. Or you're going to get a bunch of clients that don't end up sticking with you, and that's fine.
how do you get like a whole bunch of clients really fast? Like just through cold
Yeah.
calling?
I mean, right. So like that's another thing in and of itself, right? So in
That's
the family friend sales course that I sell, I show you how I advertise for myself to get a bunch of booked appointments and how I do the sales calls. And so I teach you how to get a bunch of clients like that. If you don't have the means to advertise for yourself, you don't want to spend $50 a day on ads on Facebook to run ads for yourself or whatever, or $100 a day or whatever you're spending. Um, you can cold call, you can cold email. Going to be coming out with a cold email training shortly, so look out for that. Um, you can DM people. Um, so those are options.
okay, okay. And also just like super quick, a very last question, I promise. Like you made a YouTube video on this, like about how roofing, like how like people say it's saturated and there's like a lot of SMM owners in roofing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which like that I believe kind of like fucks with me because like there's so many like roofing SMMAs and like new like YouTubers like talking about it and stuff. Is that really a problem that I have to worry about? Because like I know there's only like a set amount of roofers in the US. Um, and like I feel like everyone's reaching out to them already, or like they already have reached out to them. Like how do I like is that really a problem I have to worry about or like can I still get like 10, 20 clients like if I just keep like outreaching?
There are so many roofers, so many.
Oh,
There are so many roofing contractors. And once you can do even fairly well, like if you got yourself, let's say 3 to 5 roofing contractors that you're doing good work for, adjusting your system to work really well for, siding contractors, interior remodelers, fence contractors, all these other guys is really easy. Um,
oh.
But there are tons of roofing contractors out there, and there are people that aren't even roofing contractors that want to be roofing contractors. So, you've got interior remodelers that want to do roofs, and so if you keep putting yourself out there, making content for yourself, you present really really well. Like you're a personable, attractive,
Thanks.
smart person. You like I would hire you in a second to work
Thanks.
with me and on things, and it's so obvious that you're like better than most people, right? So all you have to do is just believe that and speak about what you know on video and put yourself out there, and you're going to have a ton of roofing contractors attracted to you as the person that they trust to do the job. And then if your offer is half decent, you're going to get a lot of people that want to hire you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for like staying for even more than an hour. That you really opened my eyes to um running these ads.
Awesome,
Genuinely.
man. Well, I
Yeah,
hope this was valuable to you,
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
I'm serious. I want you to keep in touch with me and shoot me an email or
Okay.
whatever. Message me on school platform or whatever, and just let me know how things are going.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and then I'll send you a link to get back on another call like this with me and give me a recap on things. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, Krishna. See you later, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Bye.
See ya.